Morning guys, I am Jairus G. Alcantara, a third year Bachelor of Science in Criminology. I will be the first to explain what is the general uses of polygraph. So there are four uses of polygraph. So the four general uses of polygraph is the criminal investigation, the periodic screening, the pre-employment screening, and the promotion. That is the four general uses of polygraph. Before I go to the criminal investigation, I would explain to you first what is the purpose of general uses of polygraphy. So the main purpose of general uses of polygraphy is to identify individuals who present various threats. So the criminal investigation. The criminal investigation is a valuable tool for investigation. So it provides the means of eliminating recent suspects, gives a clue about the identity of criminal suspects, and verifies the statement of those who are involved and saves a lot of time and effort during the process of investigation. So, in addition, the criminal investigation on the polygraphy is used to identify the suspects on other grounds are estimated to 50% of being guilty.
Good morning everyone. Before I start for the other uses of polygraph examination, let me introduce myself. I am Jake L. Bandoquillo. So, let's proceed to the pre-employment screening and periodic screening. Pre-employment screening, it is the fastest and most accurate means of verifying the statement of the job applicants from the derogatory remarks by a previous employer who bears a personal grudge against him. It is the best way for a company to determine dishonest employees who are responsible for the company losses. Some companies require job applicants to undergo polygraph examination before their employment. Okay. Pre-employment screening has been proven to be a very effective tool in screening applicants, especially when the position to be filled up and the company requires a higher degree of honesty and integrity, where honesty and confidence are vested on the occupant of the position and when immediate information. Next. Okay. Periodic screening. Periodic screening, even after employment, companies require their employees to undergo regular polygraph examination. It is one way of detecting employees who are dishonest in performing their duties or their jobs. Here is a test that is conducted to resist the presence of employees as well as to determine their honesty and loyalty to the company. This also checks if the employee have already engaged in any wrongdoings in the company. So it is very important.
Lastly, the promotion. As part of the companies, it is unavoidable that more than one person is eligible for promotion. In order to have quality on deciding who to promote, companies can use polygraphs by using this. The company will be able to know who among the candidates have good intention for the company, who among them figure their future, which will also be beneficial for the company, not just somebody who wants to be promoted for personal gains.
So good day to all who watch this video. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Wesley L. Turita Jr. And in today's video, me and my group mates will discuss about the four phases involved in conducting a polygraph test, which are the initial interview, the pre-test interview, the actual interview, and the post-test interview. But first, let us know about the initial interview. So when we say initial interview, it refers to the gathering of information, meaning the investigator will gather some information pertaining to the facts under investigation. And also, it pertains to information about the subject, and those information will be submitted to the polygraph examiner, because those information will be used in the formulation of question or a test question, considering that a polygraph test is a type of examination wherein the person will be asked a random question that was answerable by yes or no. So this is usually conducted by the investigator handling the case or a polygraph examiner who was given brief but significant details of the case, and it is designed to obtain pertinent Also, it is the formation necessary for the conduct of test, and the test questions are prepared by the polygraph examiner based from facts and informations. So the investigator on case should give the examiner of the facts pertaining to, first, background information, specifically previous police records and verified facts, which the subject denies. Now, the information could relate to exact amount of money or specific article stolen if it talks about thief or a robbery. Next, the exact type, make of firearm, weapon, or tool used in the commission of the crime. If there is an evidences found in the crime scene, because those evidences could be used as a formulation of question or what we call evidence collecting question. Next is the exact place, date, and time where the crime occurred. So that is also an information that need to be gathered to be given by the polygraph examiner. Next, on the unusual aspects of the offenses or any strange or obscene acts committed at the crime scene. Known facts pertaining to the subject and actions and movement immediately preceding or after the incident. Facts indicating a connection between victims, suspects, and witnesses. Unpublicized facts of the offenses known only by the victim, the offender, and the investigator. And lastly, the results of the laboratory test conducted like DNA, blood type, firearm identification, and the like. So those information should be given by the investigator to the polygraph examiner because these information are used in the formulation of questions to be prepared.
Hey everyone, I am Lovely Faith Dega, and so for today, I will be discussing the second phase involved in conducting polygraph test. So pre-test interview, it is designed to condition or prepare the subject for the actual polygraph test. Pre-test interview lasts for about 20 to 30 minutes. The examiner discusses with the subject the test issues and how the test will work. Review the test question that will be asked during the test and assesses the subject's emotional or physiological suitability to undergo the said test. So in this phase, the rights of the subject are explained. His content are obtained as well as personal data and the determination whether the subject is mentally, physically, or psychologically prepared to undergo the test. So in this phase is where the subject were being asked to sign a waiver as a sign of his willingness to undergo the test. So prior to the polygraph examination, the following considerations are taken into account. The subject must refrain from smoking at least 2 hours prior to the test. The subject should avoid taking medication for at least 2 days prior to the examination. The subject should not be hungry. The subject should refrain from consuming alcoholic beverage for at least 12 hours prior to the actual test. The subject should not be suffering from physical or emotional abuse. The subject should calm down and relax. If the female subject is pregnant or having menstruation, the test will not be undertaken. The subject should not wear tight apparels or clothing as this may cause interference in the test results. The subject should have at least 5 hours of sleep before the examination. Before the actual polygraph examination is administered on the subject, the examiner must undertake the following necessary preparation. Number 1, the appraisal of the subject's constitutional rights. Number 2, obtain the subject's consent to undergo a polygraph examination. Number 3, take notes of the subject's personal data. Number 4, advise subject's involvement about the said case. Number 5, evaluate subject's psychological preparedness. And last, determine subject's suitability to undergo the said test.
In Phase 3, after conducting pre-test interview, this is the time where we will attach the polygraph components to the subject. In attaching those components, it has an in-order manner where the first thing to be attached is pneumograph. So see this video as your reference, but first of all, credits to the owner of this video.
Then next, it will be followed by galvanograph and lastly, cardiosphygmograph.
So along examination, examiners must discourage lengthy comments or statements by the subject. Test instrument will be given to the subject and the subject must avoid any movements of their body because it will affect the results on the paper. And all questions to be asked must be answerable by yes or no only. Any confession and or admission before the actual, during, or just after the examination is admissible as court evidence.
During this last phase, the examiner will analyze and evaluate the physiological data by means of a numerical quantification system and will render one of the following results.
No deception indicated the examinee is telling the truth. Deception indicated the examinee is not telling the truth. Inconclusive, the evaluation of the examinee's physiological data is inconclusive, meaning examinee's polygraph record shows responses that are insufficient to determine the truthfulness or deception. The examiner will give or show the examinee the result of the polygraph examination. If the physiological data recorded on the charts shows reactions on the part of the examinee to the relevant questions that were asked, he or she will be given the opportunity to explain these reactions. Once the post-test phase is finished, the examiner will provide the client with a verbal report of the polygraph examination and its results. This will be followed in a timely manner by a written report containing a factual account of all the information developed during the polygraph procedure, as well as the examiner's professional opinion of the examination results based on the analysis, interpretation, and evaluation of the polygraph data. If the polygraph examiner has established the guilt of his subject from the chart that was taken, he will now be employing an interrogation technique to secure the admission or confession. The procedure is follows. Inform the subject that he cannot be cleared from his chart. Convince the subject that the responses were created due to his own emotions and not by mechanical manipulation by the examiner. Use persuasiveness, sympathetic attitude, and perseverance in eliciting admission or confession. Point out recorded reactions with a brief explanation of their significance as an objective, a concrete and tangible evidence that the eye can see and the mind can easily grasp. The subject, when innocent, is cordially released and will be thanked for his sound consideration and cooperation in undergoing the procedure.
We're going to discuss about 4 major components of the analog polygraph. The first component is the cardiospimograph. The cardiospimograph component is to record the changes in the blood pressure and pulse rate of the subject. It is composed of the blood pressure cuff assembly, sphygmomanometer, vent, air pump, and recording unit. The blood pressure cuff assembly inflates the system and the hose connects the blood pressure cuff through which the blood pressure changes and pass into recording unit. Blood pressure cuff attached to the upper right arm of the subject above the brachial artery. Sphygmomanometer used to indicate the amount of air pressure inflated to the system in millimeters of mercury. Then, air pump designed to supply air to the system. The second component is the galvanograph. The galvanograph component is to record the skin resistance of the subject using a very small amount of electricity. It is composed of the finger electrode assembly, amplifier unit, and the galvanometer recorded unit. Finger electrode assembly connects the subject to the instrument in such a manner that his skin resistance is a circuit element of the polygraph. Finger electrode assembly consists of finger electrode plate and retainer. The retainer band attached to the left index and ring finger of the subject. Connecting plug designed to attach the system to the machine. Amplifier unit designed to support the galvanometer in converting electrical to mechanical unit.
Good day, sir. I am Maria C. Pangantihon and I am here to continue the discussion of my groupmates. So the third component of polygraph is pneumograph. So what is pneumograph? Pneumograph is made out of 2 units and the pneumograph assembly is composed of the rubber corrugated tube and bedded chain tubing. So one tube is placed around the subject chest and a second is placed under the subject abdomen. So what is the purpose of pneumograph? The purpose of pneumograph is to record the changes in breathing of the subject. I am going to provide pictures or videos in order for you to see what is pneumograph. So the last component component of polygraph is chemograph. So what is chemograph? The chemograph was used as early as the 19th century for the simultaneously recording of data. It is the motor that drives or pulls the chart paper under the recording pen at the rate of 6 or 12 inches per minute. So what is the purpose of chemograph? The purpose of chemograph is to record the blood pressure, respiration, and galvanic strain resistance of the subject. It records the changes of position over time. So like chemograph, I am going to provide pictures or videos in order for you to see what is chemograph.